Hi guys, so last week I committed to not trading day one setups again and just trying to focus on first green day bounce setups. So when a stock's had a big run, it's pulled back and then looking to play it for a bounce. And I'm really pleased with my discipline this week. I've barely traded, and the first trade of the week that I took was for a 23% gain. And then a couple of other trades I took which I sized down on and took minimal losses on. So this is exactly the way in which I want to continue trading. Less is more, it seems. And also it just felt really good to kind of, if my setups weren't there, just switch off, crack on with my day and not be glued to the screen trying to search for the next trade. Instead, I'm trying to be patient and just wait for the setups to come to me. So going to go into the 23% gain trade that I took. So let's go to the chart. So the ticker is GSIT, and this is the daily chart over here. And this is its big day one run where it's gapped up on high volume, and it's gone from around £5 up to highs of $18. I think it actually might have gone a bit higher on its day two pre-market. It went up to $19.19. So on its day two highs, it was up about 278%. So decent run there. So big day one. And then this is its first red day where it's closed below the day one close. And then this is the day that I look to play it for a bounce. So nice run, nice pullback, and then where can it bounce from? So given that this had come from £5 and gone up to almost 20, even without sort of looking at the chart, you would think potentially there's going to be a bounce off 10 because, it's kind of the key area. Once you go to 20, you'd naturally expect a bounce from 10. Not that it has to, but it's just something to look at. So go to the intraday chart over here. So big day one, day two pre-market continued up and then just came back down through market open on day two. And then I'm looking to get in on day three because after hours on day two, it's pulled back to that $10 area, and you can see it wants to hold above 10, so that's a good starting point. And then so I'm watching it pre-market on day three. Can see here it pushes up to 1160s. So I actually quite liked that because it had pushed above the previous day's close, so the red-green area. So the previous day's close is here at 1083 roughly, and then it wanted to push above there, hinting that it might want to bounce on this day. So at this point, I wasn't interested in it. It's too high. I needed it to come back down closer to 10, which it did do. So I felt this was a really good setup. So I did put full size on it, and full size for me at the moment is like $100. So put $102 on the trade, and it got in at 10.29. So around about there, and then risking off about 9.98. And can see if we zoom in just a little bit, it actually broke my risk ever so slightly. So annoying. And perhaps I should have given it to sort of 10.90. That's where it went to. But, I've got to stick to my risk really. So I cut the trade once it broke my 9.98 area. And then it quickly reclaimed that 10. So I was ready to jump right back in. So I re-added and I put full size again. And this time I got in slightly lower at 10.21. And I've made the mistake the other week of a really similar setup where it broke my risk and then I re-entered, and because it broke my risk, I actually only put half size on it the next time, even though it was a really good setup. So this time I didn't let my cut impact the next trade, so I still put full size on it when I re-entered, so I'm really happy with that. And the reason why I also liked this setup was because I traded one, I think it was last week or the week before, I think it was last week actually, GLTO, which was such a similar setup where it had a run and it'd come back down to that 10 area, broke down the 10 area, reclaimed it, and then had a big bounce. So this was almost identical really. So that gave me even more conviction to size up on this trade. And also the fact that I barely traded this week, I haven't been messing around with things that I shouldn't have, meant that I can actually put full size on this because I haven't been losing on other stuff. So that's really helped me to actually find my discipline and then have the confidence to put full size on the right trade. So anyway, back to the trade. Once I got back in, can see it was moving up and then sort of came back down to this area just before market open. So I got a bit nervous because as soon as market opens, you can get a lot of volatility and it could easily just jump back down and stop me out. But thankfully it didn't. I had my stop in place now. I'd moved it down to this 989 area, so the pre-market lows. And then market opened really nice. I think it was halting up, which is always a little bit exciting when it's going upwards anyway. So yeah, managed to sell a chunk off at 320, which was for about a 30% gain on that portion of the shares. And that was really what I was looking for on this trade actually, even though I had set higher PTs. I just know that at the moment these bounces are not giving loads more than 30%. Yeah, you might get a bit more, but at the moment I think you need to be a bit more conservative with your profit targets. Well, I do anyway. So yeah, I should have maybe just taken a single, taken it all off there for 30%, but I didn't. And then I had to sort of sell on this dump here. And then it did actually go up again to my 30% mark. So, but I was all out by this point because you can see these just, fail. So ended up taking a 23% gain overall, which is really nice. And yeah, my best sell, it was about the 320s. Average sell was 1258, so around about there. So yeah, 23% overall. And another thing just to point out with this one, they did do an offering here, which is usually not good news for the stock and it kind of messes up the pattern. So I was definitely cautious of that. But because everything else set up perfectly and GLTO did the same thing last week, it was kind of enough for me to sort of overlook that, I guess, and just, stick. If I can get tight risk, which I did, then it was worth taking the trade. So that's the first green day bounce set up on GSIT. So next week is the final week of October, and if nothing goes drastically wrong, which it still could, then I'm aiming to size up to a 1 or 2k account from November. So I'm pretty excited, also quite nervous about this, but I've been learning to day trade for a year now, and I've spent 7 months of that trading with a small $300 account. And I haven't lost any of my own money. I've made about $100 over, numerous hundreds of trades, which, I am taking that as a big achievement because a lot of people will blow their accounts in the first year. So even if it's only $100, there's something about my process that is working. And hopefully I can make this work on larger size. I still might blow my account, and that's okay. It's understandable when you're learning to day trade. But I really hope that doesn't happen. So I will catch you next Sunday where I'll round off the end of October and hopefully be saying that I'm going to be sizing up in November. Cheers for watching.